It was just a normal, a normal summer day. There was no, the power was on. I was home alone again, but it was nothing scary about it. And I just went, to the bathroom. And as I was washing my hands, I turned around and I looked down, and there was just a girl just sitting in the hallway, maybe 4 feet from me. And, she wasn't scary. She wasn't anything that, I would be afraid of. She was about a little bit older than me, and she was just looking at me. And I blinked, and she was gone.
I think I'm a non-believer. I think I'm in between non-believer and skeptic, but I'm quite a bit closer to non-believer. I personally have not had any paranormal experience that I can, point to and say, this is what made me believe. And I think that's why a lot of people do have belief in the paranormal. I have 20 years of not having paranormal experiences. And so I can point to all of that and say, well, why would I?
I would describe myself as someone in the middle because I feel that though I don't believe in everything that's under the umbrella of paranormal, I do believe in its possibility, and especially in when it comes to life on other planets or psychic abilities or ghosts. I feel like those are real things.
I would describe myself as a believer when it comes to the paranormal. I have had experiences in the past, as well as have had close friends who have told me their own stories, that I just believe that there's no way that that there can't be at least something out there that, it's just something I can't explain with everyday life or science.
I think people are drawn to the stories of paranormal because it's comforting. It explains why or how for things that we don't know why or how. And I think it's sometimes an explanation is better than no explanation.
I think there's 2 reasons. I think historically, it's been used as a way to explain things that would otherwise have been unexplainable. Before the science that can explain, thunder and lightning existing, we had lots of myths about the gods of thunder and lightning, and now we sort of have a better understanding of what causes those things. I think most paranormal beliefs can be, at least historically, can be traced in that sort of same line where somebody experienced, or a group of people experienced, a phenomena that they couldn't explain with what they knew. And so the default was to go, oh, there must be sort of a spiritual or otherworldly thing happening here.
I think people are drawn to the stories because it's something that we're all curious about. People are very curious in nature, and they want something to kind of be mysterious. They want something that they can't really fully explain. And I think also a big part of it too is some people just don't want to let go of, loved ones or people they've lost, and so they like to feel like they're still around by, having, whether they have actually interacted with that person in a spirit form or not, they like to have instances where they believe they have.
People are drawn to it because sometimes it's part of your, whether it's your personal history or your family history or cultural history, it's something that's important to your heritage.
I think the second answer is more modern. And I think that just having that belief, having that openness to it is interesting and it's fun. And it adds a little bit of spice to things where you can look at something and say like, oh, maybe there's this whole component of the world of my life of existence that cannot be explained and is by definition paranormal. I think that is a fun thing to do.
No one is ever going to be fully convinced that there are spirits or any sort of paranormal beings out there, but it's always something that people want to know, and people want to keep looking and keep trying to find, that is it there or is it not?
I think paranormal belief plays an important role in society. One that comes to mind is just passing down stories to keep your children safe, whether it be stories of the boogeyman, or in my culture, his name is the kukui, or stories of La Llorona that are mostly told to children to keep them safe, keep them from wandering away.
I believe that paranormal belief plays not a large part in society, but a part that's always kind of constantly there. I think everyone has that kind of thought in the back of their head of when they're in the dark or when it's at night of, I don't know what's out there and I don't know if I want to know.
I'm coming from the perspective of someone who doesn't believe. And personally, it doesn't play a big role in my life, although my perception of the role it plays in society as a whole is one of mostly entertainment. I think it depends on how you define paranormal, but I think for the most part, the layperson's experience with paranormal ideas will mostly come from movies or TV shows or YouTube series.
I would almost say they're normal and not paranormal to the sense, because so many cultures have it, have their versions or their stories. And I would even say that it would be strange to have a society that doesn't have some form of paranormal experiences.
It's subtle. I think a lot of that comes from just our own minds, but also maybe deep down something primal. There's always, when we were, cavemen or animals themselves, they're always looking for something out there. They're always making sure that there's not a predator following them. And I think for humans, we are so comfortable, and we don't have we're the highest up on the food chain, that we need to find something that we can be afraid of, that we need to watch out for at night. And I think that's kind of where society gets, where we love horror movies, we love that kind of genre and the paranormal, is that we start to create monsters and spirits that we need to watch out for.
Because of the nature of the internet and how much exposure we have to all these different ideas, the ideas of like paranormal activity, the film franchise, are a lot more available, and I think people see those things, and it almost ties a little bit back into maybe those people have had experiences that they don't know how to explain, and having this exposure to something that could be a good explanation sort of lends them into that belief. And so I think the role that paranormal belief plays is similar to what it has been, sort of diluted by the media, though.
I think paranormal belief plays an important role in society. I think it explains aspects of our histories in different cultures, whether it's individual or for a whole community.
It's not anything about the paranormal, it's what isn't the paranormal. I think for me to believe, I would have had to have had a personal experience to make me believe. And I think that's probably why the majority of people believe what they do.
Even if I don't know how it happens or why it happens, that it does. And accepting that into my reality, because I can't deny that. And it's kind of interesting, and I consider myself a very faithful person. And maybe some of these go against what my faith would say, but at the same time, it's just, I know what I know.
In this world, we have no concrete evidence to really anything. So it's nice to just keep thinking and keep your mind free of, to just kind of open it up.